Hey everyone, happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a good day, ready for the weekend. Today we're going to be making a wallet album. This is really good if you just have a few pictures that you want to share. If you want to make a brag book out of it for grandparents, it opens up and we've got a nice little pocket up here. We could put pictures in, we could put journaling tags, just whatever you want to put in there. Then it opens up like a wallet. And inside the middle, we've got some flip pages to add photos, journaling. We've got some pocket pages here. I just added some little tags to show you that it was a pocket. We've got another area for a photo, more photo options. We've got another pocket. Then we've got another area for a photo. Here's another pocket page, but this one flips up like a checkbook, I suppose, like a register. You can pop it open and put whatever you wanted, pictures in here. You could do some journaling cards up here. This is just a really cute idea if you've got a few photos that you want to put in an album. A lot of my albums are in my Etsy store. If you are interested in any of these albums and it's still available, they will be in my Etsy shop. If you're also new here, I welcome you to my channel. This is Michele Scrapbooking Thoughts, and feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss a future video. So let's go ahead and get started with the project today. You're going to need a piece of paper or cardstock that's 12 by 12. These are super simple. And we're going to make our first score at 2.5. These are good to use if you've got a lot of paper that you need to use up. So we're going to make the first score at 2.5. And then we're going to make the next score at 9.5. And then we're going to turn it 90 degrees, just a half a turn. And we're going to score at 3 3/4. 4, 8, oop, almost cut it. We don't want to do that. And 8 1/4. All right, that's all the scoring we're going to do. We are going to make some cuts. I'm hoping you can see this in the camera, but you're going to have 4 boxes on the corner, and you're also going to have 2 small 1/4-inch score lines on each one of these. Now we're going to cut all 4 squares and the 2 1/4-inch score lines. And let me see if I can draw these for you to make these easier for you to see exactly what we're cutting. Let me see. So we're basically going to be cutting all of this out on each of the 4 corners, where we're going to be cutting that whole thing apart. So I'm just going to be cutting up that score line. I'm going to go over just a little bit I don't want that ink to show. And then we're going to cut across. The cutting guide for this project will be in the description bar below. There's a little drop down arrow, and when you click that, all the supplies that I have used and the cutting guide will be located there. My Etsy shop as well. Okay. apologize in advance if my lighting keeps going in and out. The sun can't decide if it wants to shine or not. So I've got some clouds and sun going on. I've got all my lights on. Hopefully you guys are not having any trouble. All right. So basically you were left with 2 on the end, 2 smaller rectangles, and 2 larger rectangles. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and fold and burnish on the score lines. I am really trying, y'all, to not buy anything new until I use up what's in my stash. I have so much. I didn't even realize. So a lot of the papers that I'm using today are from my stash. We'll see how long I can hold out before buying something new. Okay, so we're going to set this aside, and the next thing you're going to need are 2 pieces that are 4 inches by 12 inches, and we're going to score those at 6. So we want to fold and burnish these as well. And when you do, you want to make sure that they're lining up nicely. Okay, so now we can bring this back in. And I want to go ahead. You can leave these straight if you want to, but I like to round them off. I just think it looks neater, but that's, you know, that's just a personal option for you. So you can see that these will fold in like a wallet. And I like the finished look of the roundness. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to get 2 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And these are going to go here on the sides. These are also good if you teach any classes and you're looking for things for people to do. This is a good one. All right, then I'm going to come in with, I've got a 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to punch out a small thumb hole, so to speak, and this will let people know that, hey, we've got a pocket here. I mean, if you don't have a 1 3/4, you know, use what you have, or you may not even want to do this. Okay. And then we're going to glue these pockets on these extensions that we made. But before I do that, I do want to put some decorative paper on this. Let's see. You're going to want to cut 8 pieces at 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. You can make the papers all the same, or you can mix and match. I like to mix and match. So I think I'm going to use this one here. All right, I've got this close to the score line, but not going over. So now when this goes on, I love the look of coordinating papers. But you can also, if you want to, you know, make it the same. So we're just going to do glue a small on the top and on the sides. Because we don't want to cover up our pocket. So now we've created our first pocket. And we're going to move on down and we're going to cover this with a matting. Usually if I start with a pattern, then I go to something more non-patterny, less pattern. And then I'll go back in with another pattern. So I just kind of alternate it. This came from a Christmassy pack of paper, but I don't really think it, I mean, it looks kind of Christmassy, but it could be used for not Christmassy, I think. What do you think? Okay, so we're going to fold this back over because we need to cover this side now. And then we need to cover the back side. So you can see that there is a lot of room for photos. Lots. Do I like that better? Now, you know, I'm a glue girl, so, but you use the, you know, adhesive of your choice. I have friends that use the ATC guns. I have tried. I just cannot function with that thing. So I just stick to my glue mainly, but you use what works best for you. Okay, so now we're going to go and work on the other flap. And we need to decide what paper we're going to do. We're going to use, can't decide if I want to use this or let's use this. Running out of glue. I usually just can't get things straight the first time, which is why I use glue. It gives me a little bit of room to get things straight. Okay, so now we're going to attach the pocket. Just try to remember, keep telling yourself, pocket, 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 because I tell you what, I couldn't tell you how many times I've accidentally glued the whole thing and then ruined a whole pocket. It's like I have to make myself conscious of that. Alright, so that's created our second pocket. Fold this over, move this down a little bit. So we went with something pretty basic there. So let's do that's too close to use. I don't want to use that, and that's still kind of, let's go with this one here. I think that looks better. What do you guys think? Alright, we're going to fold this up. Let's put this one here. I'm also getting ready for a craft fair. Even though it's not till October, that's really not that far away. So I'm getting a little nervous about that because, you know, you only have so much time to prepare and get things made. So okay. So we pretty much have the inside done. Everything folds out as such. We've got 2 pockets. Now what we need to do is work on the little, what I like to call the little checkbook register pocket down here. And for that we need a piece of 6 3/4 by 7, and we're going to score it in half at 3 1/2. You just have to decide what you know, what do you want on the inside and what do you want on the outside. I think this just is a little bit more clearer for pictures to show up in journaling, so I'm going to make that the inside and this the outside. So we want to bring in our scoreboard back, and we're going to score it on the 7-inch side. Make sure this is the 7-inch side here. That's important because when you look at this, it looks square, but it's not. So you really want to make sure that you're on the 7-inch side when you score at 3 1/2. Now, because my bottoms are rounded, I am going to want to round the bottom. But first we want to make sure this is scored well. Oh, and it looks like my paper tore a little bit. I'm going to have to fix that. So I won't glue that down just yet. I'll have to get another piece. I could have sworn I scored first. But you're going to round your corner at the bottom. And then you're just put glue on the back side. Whoop. Not sure what happened to my paper. That makes me sad. So this would fit here, and you're just going to put glue on the back. So that would attach here. And then your top pieces, let's work through the middle here. Your middle piece is going to be 3 3/4 by 6 3/4, and it's going to go right here. Now with these wallets, I close my other one with a ribbon, but you could very easily do a magnetic closure. Alright. And then you're going to need 3 pieces that are 3.5 by 6 3/4. And that one will go here, one will go here, and then one will go here. So we just have to decide where we want what. I usually like to go with more of a solid color, patterny color, not so busy on the top, just for added decoration. So I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to put this one here, I think. Let me see. I always like to see which looks better. I'm kind of liking that. What about this? That's cute too. I think I'm going to go back with what I had originally. I think I'm going to bring this one back into play. So what we need to do is we need to round the top corners to match our wallet. So the top two. We're just going to set that up there like that. Then I want to bring in our top. And we also need to round the bottom. Like I said, this is totally optional. If you want to leave your corners straight, it's definitely a personal choice. It just reminds me of a wallet, more of a wallet if you round them. Alright. Now I just need to do this one up here. Just trying to see what looks better. I'm not sure about that brown. I think I'm going to go with this side. Oops, I almost forgot, y'all. Almost forgot. So that nests in there really well. So before this was ripped, like I said, this would fit right here. So we've got everything completed now. And this folds over. And this folds over. You'll just need to decide what part. I think I like this first. And then this would fold up. And this over. Now this is where you could add your magnetic closure or just use some ribbon. And there's a 1/4 inch to allow the extra hole for your tags and photos and such, so it's got room without being too full or not closed. And this is where you could come in and decorate. You could put some tags or you could put some embellishments. I've got some ribbon that I think will match pretty good. So cut off a piece. So you could just cut off a piece. I'm using probably, I could probably use a little more. I'm just going to tie a small bow around. See, I'm going to tie a bow. This ribbon is really good to work with. I mean, it does tie a really pretty bow. I love the way it ties bows. And like I said, I'll have a supply list below of everything that I used. And I like it this way too because you're tying it just tight enough to keep it together and closed, but it can also be used as like a belly band. So, get my fabric scissors and we're going to trim this tail off to make it even. And then we've got a cute little closure. And then you could come back in if you wanted to. I've got some matching die cuts and things. You know, that's too big. But, I mean, this could go on the front underneath. You could pop that up. This collection also came with some gems. So, you know, we could add gems later. So, I like to come in with die cuts and really, you know, make the front covers look really cute. Look at that Santa. Is he not cute or what? Oh my God. This paper pad that I'm using is from Creative Memories, and I believe it's retired, which is why it's in my stash. And so I'm wanting to use some of my things up before I buy new. And it's good for things that are retired or not being used anymore. Even though you can't get them per se, you can still use them up and use them in your craft fairs and such. So, or if you sell your items online, you know, put them in there. You know, use up your stash. So then I'm just would try to figure out, that's too light, what you would use. So I'm really liking this Santa. I really think he's cute. And I'm really liking that tree. That's pretty too. That would have looked pretty underneath the bow. I could still do that. Look at all the tags that you can use to put inside. I'm going to put a lot of those inside to use. They come in different shapes, different sizes. I love the die cuts that with the collection. If I buy a collection of paper, I'm going to get the accessories. I'm going to get the stickers. I'm going to get the die cuts. I'm going to get whatever I think I would need to add pretty stuff. That's cute too. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with this for the front cover. I'm trying to look at it online and see what it looks like. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. I love the deer too, but he's big. He's too big, I think. But he is super cute. Yeah, he's too big, but I would love to have used him. I thought there was a smaller one in here somewhere. Here's a smaller one. We could do the deer and the Santa. I love die cuts. I just love, love, love. So what do you guys think? Should we do deer or should we do tree? Leave me a note in the comments and let me know which one you think would be best down below in the comments. Santa and Christmas tree or Santa and a little reindeer. And what we could do with the deer to brighten him up is just cut this apart, the lights, and give him a little necklace to add some color. So let me know what you think. And then we could also go back and add our gems. So I'm super excited to add the gems and the tags into the album. I'll have pictures of everything also on my Facebook business page. If you're not already following, you may do that as well. I would love to have you at Michelle Scrapbooking Thoughts. And I will also leave that link below as well. I hope you enjoyed today's project, and I'll see you next time.